right, you want to go see the Black Dahlia murder? Yeah, you do. It's going to be a great show on the Beg to Serve tour. Thursday night, October the 3rd at the world-famous Agora. Presented to you by WMMS and 2 hours to midnight, our metal show. Special guest, Dying Fetus. Yup. Spite. Yes. Angel Maker, Vomit Forth, all 5 bands on stage. AgoraCleveland.com. For any and all details on the show, caller 10, these are yours. Good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Alan Cox. He's been asked to leave on multiple occasions.
Get out!
He does that whole, huh? I can't hear you. It's too loud in here thing.
100.7 WMMS.
Boy, I like this band a lot. They're called Fleshwater. They're from Boston. And they're opening the Deftones Arena Tour. Deftones announced their first tour in about 3 or 4 years. At least big one, North American headline tour. My son actually turned me on to Fleshwater. He did radio at Michigan State for about a semester, and he was playing Fleshwater, and I was like, oh, this is really good. And Deftones dropped all the info on their tour. You're going to have to go to Columbus to see them or elsewhere, but doing big venues. I mean, last time I saw the Deftones, it was not Toronto. It was probably maybe the House of Blues they played. But Deftones doing arenas with the Mars Volta and that band there, Fleshwater. Deftones are always great. That's not a show I'm going to go just for the opener. I've never seen Mars Volta live. That's not necessarily a band that really scratches me where I itch. But in that setting, they're probably pretty good. So
a lot of energy.
Yeah. So the Deftones' first headline tour since 2022. And they're going to be playing a lot of big venues. They're doing a couple of festivals along the way. But they're going to kick this off on the 25th of February. This is a 2025 tour. And they'll only go out for a couple of months, but they'll play Columbus on March 29th. The Nationwide Arena. That's like the Romo Fijo, yeah?
Yeah, that's where the Blue Jackets play.
So they're going to play Columbus, Chicago, Detroit, Madison Square Garden, all arenas. So I saw this on Instagram last night, and I was very excited just to see Deftones because I love them. And then I saw Fleshwater, and I was like, I'm going. Mary will go to the one at Madison Square Garden, probably.
She will not.
You don't like Deftones? It's like good F metal.
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't know.
Huh.
I honestly don't know. I can't name a Deftones song.
I bet if you dug into them a little bit, they're not emo. I mean, they kind of started out, I guess, a little bit, but way back in the day. But they've really evolved.
Based on the names, I don't know any of these.
Based on the names, what do you mean, of songs?
Yeah. Change, Be Quiet and Dry.
Oh, you'd know
Cherry
Change.
Waves.
That was like the big hit 25 years ago was Change in the House of Flies. They've done a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, but you got to
since
keep in
then.
mind that she didn't listen to rock radio or anything like that, so this may have missed her.
This was staunchly in my boy band era.
Yeah.
Right, but
97, 2000, 2000, you know what I mean?
But you weren't like dating dudes that were into rock and roll or anything like that? I mean,
No, Alan, in 2000, I was 10 years old.
Oh.
I was 11. I wasn't dating anybody.
All right. Yeah, but you've been alive since then. I'm not saying you heard these songs when they were brand new. I mean, I always assume that there's some music that permeates people's lives and they go, I don't know who that is. Like you hear it in a store or something, you go, I don't know who that is, but
This isn't really grocery
it's
store
okay.
music.
Not grocery store, but it's like, I heard them play Deftones in like retail stores before, you know? You go into Old Navy. It's all Deftones, Bill, over at Old Navy.
That's true.
February 2020, I saw the Black Keys, and that was the first rock show I've ever been to. So, no, I never dated rockers.
Okay, well,
I had a high school
you're dating
sweetheart.
one now. I bet Brian likes the Deftones. Abe Cunningham is what, when people talk about rock drummers, Abe Cunningham, who's been drumming for the Deftones since day one, I think. Everybody sleeps on this guy, and I don't know why. He is quietly one of the best, grooviest, best chops in metal and rock. Love Abe Cunningham.
I played this. I just turned this on for some background music while me and the girl were getting busy. And she's like, what is this?
You've seen The Butcher or just Deftones in general?
Just Deftones in general.
Yeah.
And she's just like, what is this? And I was like, Deftones. Good sex music. And she's
Good
like,
F metal.
I was like, all right, well, I can change it. She likes more of an R&B
You're like,
thing.
all right, I'll put on Creedence Clearwater Revival, honey.
That's one of Brian's favorite bands.
All right, I'll
Well, they're
put
a
on
great band, but
B-52s.
yeah, I wouldn't put them on when I was having sex. CCR. Down on the corner.
I made like R&B 2000s or before, like love making music. I like that.
Not the B-52s is
Not
what
the
you're saying.
B-52s, no.
Okay. If you see us.
That's good. F music,
Yep.
yeah.
Kate's got a big bouffant on. A wig. All right, honey, now throw your leg over my shoulder, and then we'll... This probably isn't very good sex music.
No.
Challenge accepted. Kate's got a big bouffant on.
I mean, I don't really care as long as I'm ready to like it. You know, as long as everybody's having a good time. I don't care what music's on.
Sure.
Or TV show.
Well, there is a line, right? If there, I mean,
It depends on how like
she tells you, I don't like this. Let's put something else on.
Yeah.
Guys, for the most part, we probably don't care. Whatever's on, right? But there would be something if it comes on, you're like, no,
Actually, I really enjoy when you're in a situation where, you know, it's like the Netflix and chill where you put something on and then it just starts happening.
Okay, but that's not always good because I did that one time. One of my first sober hookups was with a guy, and he chose Wild Wild West with Will Smith as what we were gonna
Wiki
watch.
Wow West.
That was what was on in the background, and I'm like, I cannot become aroused to this.
Right,
Like,
but nobody is
it's-
paying attention to that movie in the first place because it sucks so
on.
bad.
It's on, and you can hear Dr. Strangelove or Dr. Loveless, the little spider guy, clinking around.
Yeah, you don't want that on.
I have a
No, I wouldn't want, but I wouldn't. I'm thinking more like when you're kind of in a relationship already and you're just like, oh, we're gonna put on like, there's this new Gotti thing on Netflix. And that happened to be on. I had just gotten home. So that was on in the background. And like, and they had cameras, was the latest technology. And you know what? It was fine.
Yeah, relationship, it doesn't matter what's on,
Right,
right?
that's what
Other
I'm saying,
people,
yeah.
like, they're trying to potentially set a mood.
Yeah.
Or at least
And
not.
there are times when I want that mood, like when it's, when we're gonna have like a real sesh. But like sometimes, you just wanna get it going.
Yeah. So talk about having a sesh. One of my favorite seshes is the like a full body massage to start. And
Okay.
that's when I'll put on like a playlist. So, and Brian,
Enya?
strong hands. No, not Enya, but I have it on my phone. So I'm just going to read some of the songs. Like, this is the vibe I like. Gorilla by Bruno Mars. Birthday Sex, Jeremiah. Take You Down, Chris Brown. Neighbors Know My Name, Trey Songs. Jay Holiday, Bed. Like, that's
Little
Yeah,
on
it's
the
like-
nose, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah, but
She wants
that's
that
what I
horny
like.
R&B stuff. Yeah.
I
I
see.
want horny R&B. Yes. Falsetto by
Is
The
that Gorilla
Dream.
song? Is that just Bruno Mars doing Magilla Gorilla?
Yes.
Grape Ape. He just
Yeah.
goes Grape Ape,
Grape
Grape Ape
Ape.
the whole way through.
Yeah,
No
that's my
Twisted by
favorite.
Keith Sweat?
I'm just
Or
no,
Nobody
just,
by
like,
Keith
giving-
Sweat?
You're in different generations there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still great banging
It's good,
music.
but she's you.
I'm like 2000.
Yeah, that's 2000
like
stuff.
90s.
That's very 90s.
Still. Doesn't make it any less. The songs that you're rattling off I know they're good songs.
Yeah. Nice and Slow by Usher. Oh, yeah.
I also like, for whatever reason, the Spotify like R&B playlists are chock full of like TLC, and those are good songs, but they are pretty anti-men and anti-relationship.
Yes. Yeah.
So you gotta like weed those out.
Don't go Jason Waterfalls.
Yeah, and like salt and pepper and all that stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, no.
I don't want to talk about sex. I want to have it. And I'll talk about it during, but all right, well, everybody's got their own thing, right? But I think we can all agree Wig by the B-52s is not going to get it done.
No.
And that's a real bummer because Fred Schneider, that guy works hard for the money. So anyway, Deftones are going on tour in 2025. I was reading a thing about, we got the press release that tomorrow they will be announcing one of the main headliners for Sonic Temple. They do this, a big deal down there in Columbus. And it's early, I think this year. Is it usually later in May? It's like the first weekend in May.
I think last year was the first weekend in May, too.
Okay.
Or maybe it was later last year.
I always think it's later in May.
Because usually it's like around my one daughter's birthday. So it'll be like around the 17th. So that third week of May, like 17th going into like the 20th, around there.
Yeah, this year it was the 16th through the 19th of May.
Yeah.
This coming year, it's the 8th through the 11th. They're up to 4 days now for Sonic Temple. And they put out the press release today that tomorrow they're going to be announcing the first headliner and 2 direct supports. And they point out the headliner is the most requested band in Sonic Temple history, and they've never played the festival before. And the direct support bands are 2 of the biggest bands in rock and metal, is what they say. And a lot of people are like, well, it's probably Metallica. I thought they had already played, except I think Metallica was booked the COVID year, and they canceled. So it probably is Metallica. Which, listen, I love Metallica. But Metallica now is so prevalent that I feel like most people who are into metal have seen Metallica. And
But I don't think a lot of people want to see him just once.
Well, no. But, when you're doing a festival set. Of course, I guess if you're the headliner, you get to do like a full thing.
Yeah.
You're not going to do the 2.5-hour Metallica show, but you can do a good 90 minutes. But I was reading about how a lot of festivals are having a real hard time because a lot of them are just getting canceled. Because, it used to be Lollapalooza, Bonnaroo, Bumbershoot, and a couple of random festivals. Now there's so many goddamn festivals that a lot of them just don't make the cut. Like they're getting ready to do away with Coachella because they're like, we've kind of pared it down to nothing where fewer and fewer people are coming out there. Psychedelic Rock Fest in Southern California called Desert Days was canceled. A reggae fest in Northern California was canceled. The Sierra Nevada World Music Festival canceled. Kickoff Jam, which is a country music festival in Florida, canceled. Imagine not selling tickets for a country festival in Florida. The Blue Ridge Rock Festival in Virginia. They do this festival in Pittsburgh called Sudden Little Thrills. That got canceled. Float Fest in Austin got canceled. Good luck trying to bring In Kaya back. So there's a lot of these festivals.
Cancelled!
Whoa. I wasn't ready for
Where did
that.
that come from? You didn't like that, Mary?
Cancelled!
So loud. Is that only loud on my end?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Cancelled!
I can barely
I
hear it,
take my
Mary.
headphones off for that.
I can barely hear it.
Don't do it again.
Okay. How about this?
Yeah, that's great. Now I'm nervous to put my headphones back on.
Cancelled!
Okay, you're annoying.
She goes, I'm nervous to put my headphones back on. Tell you what, I'll keep it down here.
Don't. Okay.
I'll keep it down there.
Okay.
Let's see how low. How's that?
That's fine.
Is that okay?
You can go higher than that.
How about this?
Just don't go. No.
Is that okay?
Don't go back.
See, now the
up to
audience
where you
can't
were.
hear it. What?
Don't go back up to where you
Cancelled!
were. So annoying, dude. I just shook and grabbed my headphones.
I shouldn't do that because Mary's prone to knocking over cups of water there in the studio.
I have one and an open salad.
Yep. An open what is an open salad?
She twisted the top off and she's ready to drink
She's
it.
drinking it. All right. Oh, like the clamshell thing and you're getting
Yeah.
ready to, okay. All right. No, I heard Mary drink a salad pre-show.
You did not.
Isn't that you drinking a salad?
That's me drinking a salad.
Yeah. All right. You don't have the good sense to close the salad lid, Mary, knowing what a klutz you are?
Well, I'm going to eat it in 4 minutes.
306. So a lot of music festivals getting canceled, but they will be announcing the big news about Sonic Temple tomorrow. And a lot of them in Europe get canceled too. Strangely, the metal fests are doing fine. Europe always has a ton of metal fests. Those do okay. Burning Man, this is the first time in about 15 years they didn't sell out. Ticket sales are way down for Coachella.
Well, I think it's so fragmented now that when they get these artists, there's not enough of a draw that they go, well, I want to go, you don't want to pay these exorbitant prices for one or two bands. And if you're not interested in all the other bands, you're like, well, I'm not going to go.
Yeah, we used to go to Austin City Limits every year. And then after a while, we were like, well, it's fun, but...
And it's also so expensive.
Yeah. That's why it's like, I like EDM, but going to... And I know it's so people can just trip balls or whatever. I get that. If you were stone cold sober, you'd never go to an EDM festival. But they're fun, but like after a couple hours, you want to talk about monotonous. At least other kinds of festivals, they might move it around a little bit, genre-wise. Everybody laughs at the New Orleans Jazz Festival because it's a handful of jazz acts, and then the headliners are all rock bands. But they sell more tickets than they used to. So they're having a hard time getting a lot of ticket sales for these things. But Deftones in 2025 is very, very good news. Very happy about that. I had a message here for Bill.
Listening to the podcast from yesterday, I was kind of concerned about your safety traveling in business class with that baby. I was wondering if it was Harley Jarvis and maybe somebody was trying to assassinate him. And I'm glad to hear that you made it back okay. And also, Mary, you were grumpy yesterday. You sound like my wife. Oh, I love you.
Was
Mary.
Lucky guy.
He said you were grumpy yesterday.
Grumpy like
I
his
didn't
wife.
Feel grumpy? Was I grumpy?
Cancelled.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
Harley Jarvis, Mary's favorite
Bart
show.
Harley Jarvis.
Oh, man, everybody hated that baby.
Yeah.
And I think you should leave. They did
He's one of the most aggressive babies.
world's hottest baby or something, and everybody,
It's not
for
the
whatever
world's hottest
reason,
baby. It's
what was it?
Baby of the year.
Baby of the year.
Mr. Jarvis is one of the most aggressive babies I've ever met. He has a massive underbite and completely flat back of the head.
I hope you fucking die, Harley Jarvis. Get him out of here.
Yeah, God, people were so aggressive toward Bart Harley Jarvis.
Bart Harley Jarvis.
Oh,
He's the bad boy of the Baby of the Year contest.
Yeah, there's people flipping him off. Lady runs out, tries to shoot him.
Yep.
Oh, poor Harley Jarvis. Where is he now? Yeah, so...
No, the baby that was in business class was not Bart Harley Jarvis.
was it Tippy Fubbins? What was the other one? The other one?
Tabby Lee Fubbins.
Oh, so stupid.
Michael Porkins.
Yeah, Michael Porkins.
Yeah.
The doctor thought he was great, but Bart Harley Jarvis, massive underbite, very aggressive. People wanted to kill that baby. I don't understand it. Well, now I understand why that guy was so concerned for you.
I appreciate the concern, but yeah, I was not in harm's way.
I'm going to take a break. Hey, want to go see Switchfoot from San Diego, California? They're coming through.